Hello friends, welcome to a lecture on loops. Now loop is used in every programming language, whether it is C, C++ or Java. They are even used in Python. The thing is, what is loop and what is its purpose of using? Fine, let's see what is loop. Now loop is a programming structure that repeats a sequence of instruction, but till when a condition is met or till a condition is met. Now loop is used to traverse through some values. Now values like, suppose if I want to generate even numbers or odd numbers or prime numbers between the two range. Let's say I have to generate even numbers between 0 to 100. So I'll traverse through 0 till 100. Then let's say I have to add some of numbers. I have some set of numbers which I have to add, or repeat any function. And there are many things. For this purpose loops are used. Even sometime loops are used to do nothing also. That is just to delay some time. Now take an example of traffic signal. If I am taking an example of a traffic signal, when one light is on, till it goes to another light, that is suppose red is on, and if I have to turn it on green, the red should be on for some time. So it will be turned on and kept as it is for some time. Now that as it is part is done with the help of delay, and I can write a loop which will do nothing, just waste the time. Sometimes such time wastage is also useful. Fine. So we can say loop is a series of steps or sequence of statements repeatedly executed 0 or more times, satisfying a given condition or till the given condition is satisfied. Now the loops in a case of C++, Java, Python, so they may carry one statement or multiple statements. That multiple statements are enclosed in brackets. If I take an example of Pascal, in Pascal, begin and end defines the block. In C, C++ and Java, brace brackets defines the block. But in case of Python, there is no concept of these brackets or begin or end. Now all the statements which are indented by same number of character spaces after a programming construct are considered as a part of that block of code. So remember one thing, if I write the loop and after that if I want some few statements to be executed in that loop, then they should be indented properly, and all those statements should be indented with same number of space. So Python uses indentation as a method of grouping statements. Now Python supports two type of loops. One is called as while loop and other is called as for loop. Now while loop repeats the statement or group of statements till a given condition is true, and it tests the condition before executing the loop body. So if it's find the condition is true, then only it will execute the loop, and this process is repeated till that condition is true. The moment condition is false, the execution of loop is stopped. The next is for loop. Now for loop executes the sequence of statement multiple times, and this is defined by the loop variables. So we have two loops, we have two loops, while loop and for loop. Let's see each loop in detail. Now first we'll see for loop. Now for loop in Python is used to iterate over a sequence. Now what is that sequence? Sequence may be list, maybe tuple, maybe string, or maybe arrays. So this sequence will have some collection of values or variables or the objects. And I hope you know what is list, tuple, string and array. They are also called as iterable objects. Now iterable means the object of Iterable means the object capable of returning its member one at a time, permitting it to be iterated over a for loop. Now what this means, suppose if I take a list. Now list have suppose 10 elements. So it will return one by one element till all the elements are traversed. So iterable objects includes list, string, tuple, and any such sequence that can be iterated over a loop. So I hope the statement iterable object is clear. So iterating over a sequence is also called as traversing. Now suppose if I have a list, in this list there are 10 elements, then I'll take first element, second element, third element till 10 elements. So I'm going through all the elements from first element to last element. That's why it is called as traversing through elements. Now let's see the syntax of for loop. In for loop, I have a keyword for and another keyword is in. So I can use for one variable in sequence, and followed by that there will be indented statements, that is body of for loop. Now this indent statement can be 1, 2, 3, 4 or many, but they should be indented with the same number of characters. So let's see an example. In this example I have used a fruit list. In that fruit list I have apple, banana and chiku. That is a list. Now the for loop is for fruit in fruit list. So fruit is a variable and fruit list is a sequence. In that sequence there is apple, banana and chiku. So it will take the first fruit, it will be stored in the variable fruit, and then the next statement is print fruit, so it will print apple. Now again from the list it will take the second element assigned to fruit, and then it will print that fruit. Again from that variable, again from that list it will take third element assigned to fruit and print fruit. Now what was the statement for fruit in fruit list? So in fruit list there were 3 fruits. So once the 3 fruits is over, there is no other element or the object remaining, so for loop will be terminated. So in this way the for loop works. So I hope the concept of for loop is clear. And friends, if you really like these videos, please subscribe the channel and share it, and don't forget to hit the bell notification so that you will get my next videos notification as soon as possible, and you will be updated with those videos. Fine. So I hope you've understood what is the for loop and how it can be used to iterate over a sequence. Now in for loop I can even define the range. So I have to use a range function. Now what range function returns? A sequence of numbers. Now that sequence is starting default by 0. It can be incremented by 1, that is also by default, and stops before a specified number. So if you see the syntax of range, it has 3 parameters or the 3 arguments. That first is start, second is stop, and third is step. Now what start says? An integer that specifies the position to start. Now it is optional. Very first thing, it is optional, and if it is not used, its default value is 0. Second is stop, and that is a required parameter. If it is not included, it will give an error. So an integer number specifying at which position to stop. So start says from where to start, stop says where to stop. And the third is step. Now, step is an integer number that specifies the value to be incremented. Now this is also an optional parameter, and its default value is 1. So the range has 3 parameters: range, start, stop, and step. Start means from where to start, stop means where to stop, and step means with how much value it should be incremented. So let's see one code with the range. In this code, I have defined number as 5. Now, for val in range 0 to num. Now, 0 is the starting value and num is the ending value. So, value of num is 5. Now, remember one thing, when it is loop is going on, whatever value is given, it will always iterate over range by less than 1. Means if I have defined 5, means the loop will go to 4. So for val in range 0 to num, that is 0 to 5, so first it will print value 0, then it will print value 1, again it will print value 2, again it will print value 3, then it will print value 4. The moment value becomes 5, it will stop the for loop. So I hope these two ways of using for loop is clear. One, how to use with objects, and second, how to use with range. Now let's see how the while loop works. Now while loop is used to repeat a block of code with a Now let's see while loop. And this while loop is used to repeat a block of code an unknown number of times. Means I don't know how much time it will be repeated. Why? Because it will repeat till a specific condition is met. So this is how the while loop works. But one thing, always before entering the loop, while checks the condition. If it is true, it will go inside the loop, execute the block of statements. The moment condition is false, the loop is terminated. So let's see the syntax. Syntax is while with some expression and then a properly indented statements, and that will form a block of statements. So again here also, all statements indented by same number of character spaces are the single block of code. So Python uses indentation as grouping statement. I have already told you. So let's see one example where I have defined count equal to 0 and while count is less than 5. Now remember here we have to write a colon as soon as the while statement is over. Same is the condition with for also. I have to use a colon once the for is over and I have to start a block of code. Then count equals to count plus 1 and print value count. So initial value is 0. Now it will be incremented. So it will print 0. Again it will go into the loop. Now it will check. It is 1 which is less than 5. It is incremented to 2 and it will print 1. Then it will go to the loop. It will print 2, then 3, then 4. Now this loop works till your count is less than 5. Now the moment 4 is over, it increments to 5. It will print that 5 and then it goes to the loop. But at this point the loop gets terminated because 5 cannot be less than 5. So it will come out of the loop. So your program execution gives the result as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I hope this while loop working is clear. And now it is also possible to write a while loop in a single statement, in a single line. So you'll be surprised how it is possible. Then what about indentation? Okay, fine. I have told you in my previous videos that if I want to continue the statement in a single line, I can use semicolon. Fine. So that can be used here. So let's see this example again. I've written count equal to 0. After that I've written while count less than equal to 5 colon. Now this colon says while is finished, or the syntax of while is over, and then print my India and then semicolon, count equals to count plus 1, or you can write count plus equal to 1. So it will print 5 times my India. Fine. So I hope this statement, so I've told you it will print my India 5 times. But students, please don't use such shortcuts till you are becoming more confident with the Python programming. initially go slow step by step and learn the programming. And one more thing, you install idle on a machine. Even you can use online Python editors, they are available, and try to practice the program. And it is always told, practice makes the man perfect. Take an example of Milkha Singh. If he would have not practiced, he couldn't have become Milkha Singh. He could have become a normal man. So please install IDE of Python, that is idle. Do practice the small codes, and since it's a lockdown time, try to enhance your programming language or the programming base. That will really help you out. And you know what is the importance of Python today in the industry. Fine. So I hope both the loops are clear to you. Now let's see some demonstration of loops. Let's see some demonstration of for and while loop. Fine. Let's see the for loop, an example where it is used over the iterable objects. Now in this example, I have taken three different iterable objects. One is list, one is tuple, and other is string. Now let's see the first one, that is print iteration over a list. Now in this list I have India, Hindustan, Bharat and Jai Hind. Now here I am writing for variable in LST. Now what is LST? LST is the list. Now list is a sequence. So for variable in sequence, so instead of sequence I have written list. Print list. So it will print India, then it will print Hindustan, then it will print Bharat, and then it will print Jai Hind, and then it will stop. Now if I execute this program directly, all the three outputs will come. So what I'll do, in order to execute this program step by step or one sequence at a time, I am writing input here and giving a message, press any key to continue. Fine. Now same I'll copy here also. So since I'm not assigning any value, so it will just take up the key and won't take any action. So let's run this module this much and let's see what is output. Fine. So let's see the output. So hurry, what is this? It is printing all the variables 4 times. Now why this has happened? Let's see the program. Where is our mistake? So list, India, Hindustan, Bharat and Jai Hind. Now I am taking first data or the first object in variable, and then I try to print. Okay, so I have printed here list, not the variable. So since it is printed as list, it is printing all the 4, because in the list there are 4 items. So this will iterate 4 times and it is printing same data 4 times. Now same thing will happen with the tuple also, because I have printed tuple, and same thing will happen with string because I have taken string. Fine, let's see the output. So in tuple also it's the same output, and string also it is same output. Now let's see, after changing the variable or the LST to the variable, what is the change? So here I am changing to VAR, variable. And here I'll take CH. Now I'll save this program. Sorry. I'll run this program again. Now see, here it is printing iteration over the list. It is India, Hindustan, Bharat and Jai Hind. Now see what has happened. First in the list it is India, so first variable value will be India, so it is printing India. Then second Hindustan, then third Bharat, and then fourth Jai Hind. After Jai Hind is over, there is no data in the list. So it has stopped the execution and came to the line called as input, that is press any key to continue. So let's see, pressing the key. Now here also, while iterating over the tuple, it is taking first as India in the variable, then Hindustan, then Bharat and Jai Hind. So it is printing the tuple value. Now here you will see both outputs same because I'm just iterating through the sequence. But in actual, list and tuple are a bit different. Lists are mutable whereas tuples are immutable. That we'll see in my next videos. Now see here, in the string is MANOJ. Now the first in the string first is M, so it has taken M, printed M, then A, then N, then O, and then J. And after that there is no character to be printed, so it has stopped the process. So I hope all these three small programs are cleared, and this is how I can use for loop to iterate over the sequences. So we have seen the example for list, we have seen the example of tuple, and we have seen the example of string. Fine, let's see the another program. Fine, let's see the another demonstration of for loop, and here I have used range. So there is no list over here, it is just generating the value with the help of range instruction or the range function. So the syntax of range is start, stop, and step. So I've already told you this start is optional, stop is compulsory, and step is also an optional. Value of start is by default 0, value of step by default is 1. So here I have written print for loop with range stop. Why? Because start is optional and its value is 0. So I'm writing for x in range 5 and print x. So what will happen? It will print 0, then print 1, then print 2, then print 3, and then print 4, and then stop. Why? Because if I'm defining 5, it will work for 5 minus 1, that is 4 times. So let's see what is the output. So here it is 4 with range, and you can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now the program is waiting. Why? Because I have written input, but there is no message. Why there is no message? Because I have not given any message in input function. So just press key, we'll see the output of for with another range where I have written 2 and 8. Now it will start with 2 and stop at 7. Why 7? Because the value for stop is 8, but loop will go till 8 minus 1. So first it will take 2, it will print 2, then 3, it will print 3, then x will be 4, then x will be 5, then x will be 6, then x will be 7, and finally stop. Fine. So the for loop with the start range, it is working from 2 to 7. Now the third is start, stop, and step. So I have written 2 to 8 in the step of 2. So the value will be incrementing in the step of 2. So first it will have 2, and then it will have 4, then it will have 6, and then the program will stop. Let's see. Now why the program has stopped? Because first it will print 2, and then it will increment by 2, that will print 4. It is printing 4, and after that it will increment by 2 and it will print 6, and next it is 8, but my loop will go only up to 7. So the loop gets terminated. So I hope the for loop with the range is clear. So I have explained you a for loop with the 3 iterable objects and the for loop with range. Now let's see the demonstration of while loop. Fine. So let's see the demonstration of while loop. Now in this I have written count equal to 0, and for count less than 5, count equal to count plus 1, and iteration number. So initially the count is 0, so it will be incremented by 1 here in the loop. It will print 1. Now it will check, is it less than 5? Yes, it is less than 5. So the count will be incremented by 1 more and will print now 2. Now again it will go in the loop. It will check the condition. So it will see, fine, again the count is less than 5 because now it is 3. So it will print 3. Then it will increment by 1. It will be 4. So it is checking that count is less than 5, that is 4. So it is printing. Now it is incrementing, it is becoming 5. So it says count is less than 5. No, now it cannot be 5 because 5 cannot be less than 5. So it won't go in the loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then stop. Now same program I have written in a single line. So count is less than 5, print and count plus 1. So my program is waiting to input something because I have not given a message, it is not displaying anything, but it is waiting to input, and that is of no use because I have not assigned that value to any variable. So it's just to press any key. So you can see again, it is now, see here, this time it is printing from 0 to 5. Why? Because it is 5. Now first I have printed the value and then I have incremented. In the previous program I first incremented and then printed. So that's why 5, and in this single line it is 0 to 5. I'm sorry, in the first program. So you can see in this program I have printed the value first and then incremented, whereas in this program I first incremented and then I have printed. So output of this code is 1 to 5 and output of this code is 0 to 5. So I hope this lecture is clear to you. What is loop, what is for loop, and what is while loop, how to use for loop and how to use while loop. So friends, my next lecture will be again on loop only. It is a part of continuation of this, but now this will be loop with else clause. So in other languages like C, C++, Java, else was written with if only, that is a branching statement, whereas in case of Python this else can also be used with loops. Fine, stay tuned for my next lecture.